Now, rather than give you the long, drawn-out explanation of why this is, I'm going to give you the formula first. You know what the formula for the area of a triangle is? You talked about it before, Alex?
Base times height equals area.
That's for a rectangle. Area of a triangle. It's close to that, though. Maybe
1/2 the base times height.
1/2 base times base times height. Now, just so you know, you abbreviate it a little like this. A equals 1/2 base EH. 1/2 base times height. Now they get a little bit of sticky here for this very reason here. Okay, anytime in math you see the words base and height, these two lengths must, M-U-S-T, they must form a right angle, or 90 degrees. Okay, they must form a 90-degree angle, base and the height. So if, let's take a look at this triangle that I drew over here. If this is 10 and this is 8, what two things do I multiply together to find the area of the triangle? Logan,
With base and height.
which are what?
10 and 8.
They are not. Let me go back to my initial statement. The base and the height must form a right angle. They have to form a square corner. And right here, this is certainly not a square corner. So what two things would I multiply together, Caleb? This is a little like Dr. Spock asking the computer this question. David?
8.
There's another 8 up there. Base?
8 times 5.
5.
Half the base.
Brooke?
You don't know?
You don't know. That was my little thing, because I'll tell you a bazillion times, people will tell me this, and I'll say, no, you can't. You will have to be given, if this doesn't happen, you can't assume this is a right angle. You know it's a right angle when they put a little square next to it. Anytime you're given a triangle, the book will have to provide you with a line or two lines that have right angles in them. Okay, let's say this is 6. And then you say, okay, what two lines form a right angle? Even though this one's not part of the outside of the triangle, it is the height, and this is the base. So when you do the area of this, you get 1/2 of 10 times 6. Doesn't matter the order, because multiplication is multiplication. And the beauty of this is, children, because of what property of multiplication, do you know? Because the commutative property of multiplication says that you can switch orders when you multiply, I can do this in any order I want. I could take 1/2 of 10 and get 5 and multiply that by 6 and get 30. Or I could take 1/2 of 6, get 3 and then multiply by that 10 and get 30. Or I could take 6 times 10 and get 60 and cut that in half and get 30. Doesn't matter, whatever way works best for you. But the area of this is 30 inches squared. Now sometimes when you're given a triangle, that you're given a right triangle, and that makes life pretty easy. If you're given a right triangle and you see this little thing here, you know, and this is 12 and this is 14 and this is 8. If I'm doing the area of that triangle, what two numbers am I going to multiply together there? Ryan Connor? Which two form the square corner?
8 and 12.
Exactly. So area is 1/2 of 8 times 12. And again, that would just be 1/2 of 8 is 4, 4 times 12. And again, area is always in square inches or square whatever, so you have to label it with square inches. Now, why do you suppose it's 1/2? Why isn't it just base times height? Well, if you look at what we had here, if I made this 8 times 12 actually gives me the area of a rectangle. Remember base times height? that would tell me the area of this entire thing. How much is a triangle of that entire thing? Half of it. So that's why we take triangles and cut them in half, because they only take up half the area as if there was a rectangle. Now, what about,
Mr. Hahn, do you have keys to the bottom?
usually,
I know, they never gave me. Do you mind
it's the
if
same,
Mr.
it's the same key as every other key.
For what doors?
All the inside doors but the classroom. You know, the old master key, they used to go to everything.
Oh,
It's sometimes a little tricky.
the ballroom
The
doors?
ballroom door can be a little,
All right.
sometimes you gotta push it in and pull it back.
Okay, try it now. No worries. Can you just sit here and do this next? There you go. We'll get to the bottom.
This is the, that's the one.
Make sure you
Alright, one other example you might see is something that looks like this. Triangle that looks like this. Kind of an obtuse looking sort of triangle. And you're given 15, 12, and 6. What's the base and the height there? Help me out on that one, Stupert?
You don't know?
Don't know? Exactly, the book will do something that looks like this. They'll draw a dash line straight down from here. They'll extend this line back from here. They'll give you a nice square corner there. They'll say that maybe this is 8. Now, you still have a choice. What are your base and your height there? What two lines form the right angle there? Lana?
We don't know.
Yeah, you do. You do know now. Mia?
6 and 8.
It's this, even though it doesn't, even though this continues on this, you just worry about this piece and that. So area equals 1/2 base times height. Area equals 1/2 of 6 times 8. So you end up with half of 48, which is 24. And please, children, when you see area like this, you need to draw the triangles down for me. You need to write the area, the formula down for me, and then fill in the blanks about that. Does that sound like a winner to you? How many times do you think somebody is going to do the triangle and forget to cut it in half? Caleb? Do you think anybody's gonna do that? How many times do you think? I'm gonna speculate 30. So that must be correct, because I'm gonna guess. People won't look in their notes, they won't write 1/2 down. I hate to set you up to fail, but that's just what's gonna happen.